YouTube, what's going on? It's your boy Paved the Way Chris, and I'm back with another video. And today, one of my best videos. Yes. I am so happy today because guess what? The New England Patriots lost the Super Bowl, y'all. It's crazy how I said this. I knew the Patriots were gonna lose in the Super Bowl. Throughout the entire season, all jokes aside, I don't know if I made a short or a normal video, but I made a video basically explaining like how the Patriots were frauds in my opinion. And I forgot New England had a bunch of fans. And with those fans, I got a lot of hate. It was a shorts. Yeah, it was definitely a short. Yeah, anyway, regardless, so I made a shorts basically explaining how the Patriots were frauds because on paper, they had the easiest record in the NFL. And we're going to go over that in today's video. Guess what? Because we're about to look through their schedule. Week 1, they lost to the Raiders. The Raiders have the #1 pick this year. They lost to the Dolphins. The Dolphins are a top 10 pick this year. They lost to the Steelers. Okay, whatever. They made the playoff. And by the way, they lost to the Steelers. Like, Raiders and Steelers. But anyways, they beat the Panthers. The Panthers made the playoffs below 500. They beat a division rival in the Bills. We know those games don't matter. They beat the Saints top 5 pick. Titans, another top 5 pick. Browns, top 5 pick or top 10 pick. Falcons didn't make the postseason. Went on a run at the end of the season below 500. Bucks below 500. Jets below 500. Bengals below 500 and without Joe Burrow. Giants below 500. They literally had by far the easiest schedule we have ever seen in NFL history, and they made a run off of it. And on top of that, guess what? They had the most favorable NFL playoff run ever. You played against a Justin Herbert with a terrible O-line. And I already know what Patriots, our O-line didn't show up, blah, blah, blah. I'm not trying to hear none of those excuses now. I don't want to hear none of that. Y'all are acting delusional when y'all beat the Broncos, when y'all really know y'all would have lost if they had Bo Nix. Y'all won by 3 points against a team with a backup quarterback because their starter got hurt. This should have been the Broncos Super Bowl this year. Let's just be for real. But regardless, though, they beat a trash Justin Herbert. We know how Justin Herbert gets anytime he sees a playoff logo. He's just gonna start getting sacked, throwing picks and whatever. You play a trash Justin Herbert, cool. CJ Stroud, trash CJ Stroud. Once again, he peaks at the divisional round every single season. Cool, whatever, right? I'm thinking we're gonna have a good conference game at least. I'm hearing Bo Nix is injured after beating the Bills. So the Bills lost for no reason. And then guess what? Y'all only beat the Broncos by 3 points. If Sean Payton wasn't so aggressive in that game, treating that game like a literal do or die game, y'all would not have been in the Super Bowl, in my opinion. I don't care. The Broncos defense was holding up too. All they needed to do was just make the field goals and take the good field goals as well before the kicker started missing all those field goals, and they would have been in the Super Bowl. But it wouldn't even have mattered because they would have got blown. It would have just been. It was gonna be the Seahawks Super Bowl regardless. But regardless, though, seeing this Super Bowl game, I'm not surprised. Patriots fans were bragging about Drake May being in the Super Bowl, throwing 86 yards in a conference championship game. And they talk about weather impact like that didn't happen in the second half of the game. Not even just in the second half of the game. At the end of the third quarter of the game, he had 56 yards at halftime. And you're sitting there talking about, it started snowing. It was weather implications. And we had people like Matthew Stafford throwing for 280 plus yards in the snow. I'm not trying to hear none of that, bro. Even Jalen Hurts did better in the snow. I'm not trying to hear none of that, bro. None of that. This loss was a well-deserved loss. Yes, it was well-deserved, bro, because this fraudulent team shouldn't even have been in this position in the first place. I'm sorry. I'm sitting here trying to act all nonchalant and normal about the situation, talking about they beat the teams that they had in front of them. No, bro. I'm not giving credit to this team, bro. And they got what they deserved, bro. They did not deserve to be in this position, and they definitely didn't even deserve to only lose by 16. It should have been a blowout. I'm kind of disappointed in Seattle by not blowing them out by more. You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is, bro. A win is a win at the end of the day. And finally, this could all get put to an end. At the end of the day, I don't really care what the Ravens do at this point. I really just got to see with this new coaching staff. But guess what? Patrick Mahomes is coming back next season with a whole healthy team. We don't have to deal with none of this Patriots nonsense ever again. This was by far the most boringest Super Bowl I ever watched, bro. We don't have to watch this nonsense ever again, bro. Drake May getting sacked. You got the old lineman getting drafted, talking about if you give up a sack, you won't work at Amazon. Whole time, he's the one giving up all the pressure to his quarterback. It's just so much going on with this Patriots team. Stephon Diggs has a trial date. He might be going to jail. All this nonsense, bro. And I'm so glad these frauds got exposed, bro. We're not heading into another Brady era again with this Drake, man. I'm sorry. There's not really even much for him to learn. I mean, he was just getting pressured at the whole game. Like, you know what I'm saying? It is what it was getting pressured, and he was making a lot of inaccurate passes in the first half. I don't care what anyone says. I will say the O-line did tell him a lot. Okay, cool. But at the end of the day, Drake may have some passes he could have made, and he was just clearly inaccurate, and that's why they lost the game. It is what the defense did the best. I will say one thing about this Patriots team to worry about in the future. That defense is going to be a problem. But as long as Drake May's on the field on offense, I'm not worried about this team. As long as they play, if they have another trash schedule, because you got to think about it, they have the Dolphins and the Jets to play twice a season. So they should be getting 4 free wins every single season. So that already puts them above the halfway mark of just making the playoffs in the AFC. But regardless of that, I'm not worried about this Patriots team. I'm not worried. Baltimore's coming back healthy. The Bills, I don't know what the Bills are really going to do this offseason, but they're not really even like too much of a threat. The Broncos are actually competable. So yes, the Broncos are going to come back, and yes, they will be looking for revenge. Absolutely. And guess what? The Chiefs are coming back next season too. I'm not worried about this Patriots team. I'm glad this happened. Now, outside of that, though, let's talk about the Seattle Seahawks. I'm 100% proud of the Seattle Seahawks. I'm a little disappointed that my former defensive coordinator did win a Super Bowl with them, and he should have been the head coach of my team. But once again, it is just great to see. Sam Darnold did what he needed to do to win the game. Kenneth Walker won MVP. Honestly, I think you call me crazy. Kicker should have won MVP. Because granted, if the kicker did not score all those points, this would have just been a closer game. Yeah, and that defense, and I feel like I'm gonna bring up a point with Seattle real quick. And I kind of do stand on this point. Like, I'm not gonna say they didn't have any names, but I feel like Mike McDonald played a huge factor on why this defense was able, he was able to get people to be who they really are. Like, if we're looking at names, this Seattle defense is not the #1 ranked defense, if we're just looking at purely names. But I feel like the way he schemes and positions his players, obviously, everyone's able to play their role at the best of their ability, and that's what really showed out on the field. With the blitzes he was sending, it was just, it gave me flashbacks. It gave me flashbacks of the Chiefs game where we held them to 0 points in the second half of the conference championship. But it is what it is. He's a Super Bowl champion, and that's why he took the head coaching job. All he needed was an offense, and that's why they made key pickups with, Cooper Kupp, who's obviously been in that position before, and JSN stepped up with a better quarterback outside of Geno Smith. So, and really for the Seahawks for the future, this might be their run era. This might be the era, this era that they got right now. It's time for them to make a couple more Super Bowl runs. You know what I'm saying? You got a really good defense. You know what I'm saying? You got a good receiving course. You have a backup running back coming back healthy this season, so the run game is going to be even more effective with Kenneth Walker and him, as long as everyone stays healthy. I could see Seattle winning, being in that championship talk for the next couple of years, But obviously, congrats to Seattle, and we hate the Patriots. Yeah, it is what it is. It's your boy, Pave the Way, Chris. I'm so glad this team lost, and I'll catch y'all boys in the next video.